Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of my assemblies. Now, before we start, I just wanted to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Lang, because Mrs. Lang comes up with all the ideas for the assemblies that I do every week, and she gives me loads of information and makes my job really easy. And then all I have to do is present it to you. So I just wanted this week, we are going to look at Chinese New Year. Something that you might have heard of before, or something that you might know a little bit about. And it starts on the 12th of February. So that's why we're going to look at it this week. Okay. Now, Chinese New Year starts somewhere between late January and early February. It's a spring festival and it's been celebrated for over 3,000 years. And the date changes from year to year because it follows an ancient farmer calendar, which is based on the phases of the moon. It was originally a festival where the farmers hoped for a good harvest in the new year to come, and they were saying thanks and being hopeful. Sounds a little bit like the Christian festival of harvest, but it's just at a different time. And I know what you're thinking about New Year. It's a bit different to how we celebrate New Year, because we celebrate New Year on the 1st of January, don't we? But the Chinese New Year is based on the phases of the lunar calendar, it's called. So it's a little bit different. Okay, so preparing for the new year, Chinese people spring clean their houses and gardens to sweep away any bad luck. Their houses are decorated with paper scrolls and lanterns with good luck phrases such as happiness and wealth on them. That means that they are hopeful for a wealthy year. All unfinished business is settled, so there's a fresh start for the new year. Debts are paid, quarrels, any arguments are resolved, and all the work is brought up to date. That sounds a very good thing to do ready for your new year, doesn't it? So on New Year's Eve, families gather together and have a large traditional feast of fish and chicken. In the north, people eat jiazi, which is a steamed dumpling. I'm going to show you some pictures in a minute. And in the south, people eat niangao, sticky sweet rice pudding. That sounds pretty delicious. People stay up till midnight, setting off fireworks to scare evil spirits away. So on New Year's Day, children receive red envelopes that are filled with money and sweets from their parents and their grandparents. And every family member starts the day with brand new clothes from head to toe. Red is a very popular colour for clothing, as it's considered lucky. And the first stop of the day is to go to the temple to worship their gods to welcome in the new year. And then most families gather together for a New Year's banquet, and each family brings their own dish. So Chinese New Year is celebrated with gifts and fireworks and different dances and things, and I'm going to show you some of the dances that they do. One of them is a traditional dragon dance. So they make these huge dragons and go and parade in the streets and dance with them. And they also do lion dances as well. That's pretty spectacular, isn't it? And then they celebrate on the last day, which is the 15th day of the festival. They finish with a lantern celebration. Doesn't that look beautiful? These are the dumplings that I was telling you about. I'd like to give those a try. With those different sauces, they look quite delicious. They also celebrate with firecrackers in the street. And then eventually, these are the red pockets of where they have money or sweets given to you. They also dress up in traditional dress and go and parade in the streets. to celebrate, and they finish with fireworks as well. Now, each year in the Chinese calendar is named after an animal from a very old story, a very old ancient Chinese story. And I'm going to read you the story in the next part of my assembly. And then we can find out what year, 2021, what animal is celebrated in 2021. Okay, see you in a minute. Hi, are you ready for the story which tells us about why the Chinese New Year is always named after an animal? Okay, here we go. A long time ago in China, the Jade Emperor decided that there should be a way to measure time. He told the animals they were to compete in a race. The first 12 animals would be rewarded by having a year named after them. On the day of the race, all the animals lined up beside the river. The rat and the cat, who were good friends, were worried as they were not very good at swimming. They asked the ox if he would carry them across on his back. The ox agreed, and they jumped on his back. When the race started, the rat and the cat were very pleased that the ox took the lead. They were almost across at the other side when the rat pushed the cat into the water and jumped on the bank to finish first. Well done, said the Jade Emperor to the rat. The first year of the zodiac, which is the calendar, will be named after you. The poor ox was tricked into second place, and so the second year of the zodiac was named after him. Shortly after, the exhausted tiger arrived on the riverbank. Swimming the river had been very difficult as he had to fight strong currents. The next to arrive was the rabbit, who hadn't swum across but hopped across on some stepping stones and then onto a floating log which carried him to the riverbank. I shall call the fourth year after you, the surprised Jade Emperor said. Taking fifth place was the dragon. How come you didn't win the race when you could fly across? The emperor asked. I stopped to help some animals, the dragon explained. That was nice of him, wasn't it? Heading towards the line was the horse. Just as he thought the horse would cross, the sly snake wriggled around one of the horse's hooves. The horse was so surprised that he jumped backwards, giving the snake a chance to slither forward and take sixth place. The horse made it for the seventh place. Not long afterwards, a raft arrived carrying the monkey, the rooster, and the goat. They explained how they had worked as a team to get across. The emperor was very pleased. He said the goat would be the 8th year, the monkey the 9th, and the rooster the 10th. 2 more places. The next animal to arrive was the dog. What took you so long when you're such a good swimmer? Asked the emperor. The river was so clean that I decided to have a bath along the way, the dog explained. I think that's what my dogs would do. He was rewarded with the 11th year. Who's going to get last place? There was one place left in the zodiac, and the emperor wondered who the last winner would be. All of a sudden, the pig turned up. You took a long time. What happened? The emperor asked. I was hungry and stopped to eat. Then I fell asleep, said the pig. The 12th year was given to the pig. As for the cat, he finally crawled out of the river, but was too late to have a year named after him. He was very angry with the rat for pushing him in. Since then, cats have never been friends with rats. From that day to this, the Chinese zodiac has followed the cycle of years named after the 12 animals, And there you go, you can see them all. And once all 12 have been done, it all starts again. So I'm wondering if you can work out from that, what animal are we celebrating this year in 2021? Well, in the next part of my assembly, I'm just going to make a couple of different things that you can do to help celebrate Chinese New Year. So I shall see you in a minute. Hi everyone. So the last bit of my assembly is just to go through what animal is in this year of 2021. Did you have a look at that zodiac sign and work it out? If you didn't, don't worry. 2021 is the year of the ox. And I have printed out a picture of the ox, which I'm going to colour in as part of my celebrations for Chinese New Year. And I'll put a link to this in the comments below if you'd like to do one as well. The other thing that I did, if you were watching through the slides of how they celebrate, I wonder if you can remember what they finish with, what they celebrate with. They make lanterns. And I've made a lantern here, which was quite easy. I did need to print it out, but you could easily make one. I am going to put another link in the comments below if you'd like to make a lantern too. Yours can look a lot more colourful with this. You can decorate it with coloured pencils and felt tips and bits of glitter and things like that if you like. So I just want to finish the assembly by telling you what the Chinese, what their wish of hope for is for the future. And they have a saying, and that saying is, may your happiness be as wide as the East Sea, which is very, very wide. So we're really thinking about how we can be hopeful and how we can wish for happiness in the year to come. Now I just want to finish this assembly by, I want you to think about two things that they hope for, that you hope for your friends and family this year, and two good things that you hope for the world this year. Okay, I think I know what some of those might be, certainly for the world, but think about two things that you hope for, that you wish for your family for this coming year. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, well, have fun with learning about Chinese New Year, colouring in the ox picture and making a Chinese lantern. So that is it for me now for this week. Bye for now.